In the opulent ballroom of the Grand Hyatt, where crystal chandeliers cast a golden glow over tables laden with champagne flutes and exotic blooms, Sophia Harrington sat alone in her wheelchair, a silent island amid a sea of swirling guests. The wedding of her father's star executive was meant to be a celebration of love and success, but for Sophia, it was just another reminder of her invisibility. Paralyzed from the waist down since a childhood accident, she had grown accustomed to the polite nods and averted eyes, but tonight, the sting felt sharper, like a fresh wound under the weight of her elegant gown. Her father, Victor Harrington, the formidable CEO of Harrington Enterprises, was the center of attention as always. He moved through the crowd like a king, his booming laugh echoing as he shook hands with investors and toasted the bride and groom. Sophia watched him from afar, her heart aching with a mix of pride and loneliness. At 24, she had achieved so much, graduating summa cum laude from Stanford via online courses, launching a small nonprofit for disability advocacy, but in rooms like this, she was reduced to the CEO's daughter, a footnote in her father's empire. Guests streamed past her, their conversations buzzing about mergers and market shares, not once pausing to include her. Even the waitstaff seemed to forget her glass of water needed refilling. Across the room, Mark Thompson adjusted his tie for the third time, feeling out of place in his rented tuxedo. A single dad to his 8-year-old daughter, Lily, he was here only because his late wife's cousin was the bride. Mark worked as a mid-level accountant at Harrington Enterprises, far from the executive circle, but Victor had insisted on inviting the whole team to this lavish affair. Lily tugged at his sleeve, her eyes wide with wonder at the fairy tale setting. "Daddy, can we dance later?" she asked, her voice a spark of innocence amid the adult chatter. Mark smiled down at her, ruffling her curls. "Of course, Peanut. But first, let's find a spot to sit." As they navigated the crowd, Mark's gaze landed on Sophia. He had seen her photo in the company newsletter once, but in person, she was striking, her auburn hair cascading in soft waves, her green eyes reflecting a quiet intelligence. Yet, she sat isolated, her hands folded in her lap, watching the dance floor with a wistful expression. Lily noticed too. "Why is that lady all alone, Daddy? She looks sad." Mark hesitated, his heart twisting. He knew the rumors. Sophia's accident had shattered the family, and Victor, in his grief, had thrown himself into work, leaving her to navigate the world mostly on her own. But ignoring her, that didn't sit right with him. The evening wore on. The band struck up a lively tune, and couples flooded the dance floor. Victor gave a heartfelt speech, praising the newlyweds and subtly weaving in a plug for his latest business venture. Laughter rippled through the room, but Sophia remained on the periphery, her smile forced as a few distant relatives offered quick hellos before drifting away. She wheeled herself closer to the edge of the floor, hoping perhaps to feel part of the joy, but the guests parted around her like water around a rock, their eyes sliding past as if she were a piece of furniture. Mark watched this unfold, a knot forming in his stomach. He remembered his own dark days after losing his wife to cancer 2 years ago, the isolation, the way people tiptoed around grief as if it were contagious. Lily had been his anchor, teaching him that small acts of kindness could bridge even the widest chasms. "Come on, Lily," he said suddenly, taking her hand. "Let's go say hi to someone special." They approached Sophia cautiously. She looked up, surprise flickering across her face. "Hi there," Mark said with a warm smile, crouching down to her level. "I'm Mark Thompson, from accounting. This is my daughter, Lily. We couldn't help but notice you're sitting here all by yourself. Mind if we join you?" Sophia blinked, caught off guard. No one had ever approached her like this at these events, directly, without pity or obligation. "Oh, sure," she replied, her voice soft but steady. "I'm Sophia. Nice to meet you both." Lily beamed, plopping down in the chair beside her. "Your dress is so pretty. Like a princess. Do you like dancing?" "I love dancing, but Daddy says I'm too wiggly." Sophia laughed, a genuine sound that surprised even her. "I used to dance a lot before. Now I just watch." Mark pulled up another chair, sensing her hesitation. They chatted easily, about Lily's school projects, Mark's disastrous attempts at baking cookies, and Sophia's passion for adaptive technology. She opened up about her nonprofit, how she designed apps to help people with disabilities navigate daily life. Mark listened intently, his admiration growing. "That's incredible," he said. Most people in this room are chasing profits, but you're changing lives. As the conversation flowed, an unexpected turn came when the band slowed to a ballad. Lily jumped up. "Daddy, dance with me." Mark chuckled, but then glanced at Sophia. A profound realization hit him. Why should limitations define joy? He turned to her. "Sophia, would you like to dance? I mean, we could figure something out. Lily and I aren't pros, but we'd love to have you join us." Sophia's breath caught. Dance? In her wheelchair? No one had ever suggested that. Tears welled in her eyes, but she nodded, whispering, "I'd love to." Mark wheeled her to the edge of the dance floor, Lily holding her hand. He positioned himself in front, gently taking her hands in his as the music swelled. They swayed together, Mark guiding the wheelchair in slow circles, Lily twirling around them like a sprite. At first, the crowd didn't notice, too absorbed in their own worlds. But then heads turned, whispers spread. Victor, mid-conversation with a board member, froze when he saw his daughter on the dance floor, her face alight with laughter. The moment built like a wave. A young couple nearby joined in, then an elderly aunt. Soon, a small circle formed around them, clapping and cheering. But the real climax came when Victor pushed through the crowd. His eyes, usually steely, glistened with emotion. "Sophia," he said, his voice breaking. He knelt beside her wheelchair, taking her hand. "I've been so blind. All these years, building walls instead of bridges. I'm sorry." Sophia squeezed his hand, tears streaming down her cheeks. "It's okay, Dad. It's never too late." In that instant, the room transformed. Guests who had ignored her now approached, offering genuine conversations and invitations. The act of one single dad speaking up had rippled outward, reminding everyone of the power of simple humanity, of seeing beyond surfaces to the heart beneath. As the night drew to a close, Mark walked Sophia and Victor to their car, Lily skipping ahead. "Thank you," Sophia said, her voice filled with gratitude. "You didn't just speak up, you showed me I'm not invisible." Mark smiled. "We all need someone to remind us we're seen. That's what kindness does, it lights the way." In the days that followed, Victor restructured his schedule to spend more time with Sophia, even partnering her nonprofit with Harrington Enterprises. Mark and Sophia stayed in touch, their chance encounter blossoming into a deep friendship, and eventually, something more. Lily gained a new auntie, and the world felt a little less lonely. The story of that wedding spread quietly through the company and beyond, a testament to how one voice, one act of selflessness, can shatter isolation and ignite hope. In a world often divided by status and circumstance, it reminded